This episode of News Dump is brought to you by Fields.
We're number one. We're number one.
USA.
Ladies and gentlemen,
USA.
we finally did it. The United States of America is officially the number one country in the world when it comes to coronavirus cases.
Oh.
We did it, everyone. We even beat China.
Feels good to win one. Take that, China.
Yeah, I'm actually tired of winning now.
I'm going to start calling it the America virus.
Yeah.
Because it's ours now.
Yeah.
As of Thursday this week, the United States of America surpassed both Italy and China to become the leading country affected by cases of COVID-19. And our total amount of confirmed cases, it keeps going up, baby. So there's very little chance that any other shitty other, non-American countries is going to even come close to reaching our amount of infected people throughout the rest of this outbreak, which currently has no end in sight.
We are sitting on top of this winner's circle, and we're not getting off, baby.
Rack 'em. By the time this video goes live, the number of confirmed cases in our country will have crossed 100,000 people.
And it did already.
Yeah, it already, okay. So
as of the time we filmed this, it already is.
Scoreboard, baby.
No.
The deaths are almost certainly surpassing 1,500.
I think that's already happened as well since I've finished writing this.
And we're technically still just,
barely past.
Just past the starting line here with no end in sight. Many states have outright refused to enact stay-at-home orders. The president is signaling that we should all go back to normal by Easter, even though that's around the time
it'll probably
it's going to be like exploding. Yeah. So cool.
Now we
wish very cool.
We wish it were true that everything was going to be going back to normal very soon. But all indications from medical experts and general statistics relating to the spread, they point to things definitely not going back to normal in 2 weeks. And for millions of Americans out there, times are tougher than ever. Last week alone, more than 3 million people in this country filed for unemployment benefits. And it's become a common trend online to see people posting notices that they've received from landlords and property owners showing that they still have the full intent to collect rent payments regardless of whether or not their tenants have been completely decimated by the state and government-mandated stay-at-home policies, or if you're in a hospital because of this. So far, I know that it's been said that people won't get evicted, but
it's just
you're just racking up a bill that's
you still have to pay it all back.
Paid off. Luckily, there's at least this much good news. Though it will have a somewhat minimal effect on most people's lives considering how high that rent costs are in a lot of places here in this country. You're all getting a stimulus check.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, big government.
The coronavirus stimulus package, aka the CARES Act, officially passed in the Senate, the House, and on Friday was signed by the president himself. So
when he was signing it, he was like, wow, never signed anything with a T on it before. $4 trillion.
Yeah, so what's in the box? What's in the package? How much is everyone getting? When can we expect to get our checks? Well, first off, let's see how this 883-page, $2 trillion stimulus breaks down. According to Axios, the deal would increase the amount the Agriculture Department can spend on its bailout program from $30 billion to $50 billion. States and local governments will get $150 billion, with $8 billion set aside for tribal governments. Airlines will receive $50 billion of the $500 billion for passenger air carriers and $8 billion for cargo air carriers.
Large corporations, $500 billion will be allotted to provide loans, loan guarantees, and other investments overseen by a Treasury Department Inspector General. These loans will not exceed 5 years and cannot be forgiven. Small businesses, $350 billion is being dedicated to prevent layoffs and business closures while workers have to stay home during the outbreak. Companies with 500 employees or fewer that maintain their payroll during coronavirus can receive up to 8 weeks of cash flow assistance. If employers maintain payroll, the portion of the loans used to cover payroll costs, interest on mortgage obligations, rent, and utilities would be forgiven. So that's good for small business.
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
Hospitals and healthcare, so they're getting over $140 billion in appropriations to support the U.S. health system. Important.
Yeah.
Also, $100 billion of that will be injected directly into the veins of America's hospitals.
Good.
The rest will be dedicated to providing personal and protective equipment for healthcare workers, testing supplies, and increased workforce and training, accelerated Medicare payments, supporting the CDC, among many other healthcare investments. If you're unemployed, here's the part for you. The program's $250 billion extended unemployment insurance program, unemployment on steroids, as Senator Chuck Schumer calls it, expands eligibility and offers workers an additional $600 per week for 4 months, on top of what the state programs pay.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Cool. It also extends UI benefits through December 31st for eligible workers. The deal applies to the self-employed, independent contractors, and gig economy workers. Good.
Yes.
Even though those aren't technically
Jobs where you can get unemployment. Yeah.
But yeah.
That is a good thing.
Increasingly large part of our nation's economy is people who, under normal unemployment, would receive jack shit.
Yes.
So good looking out.
Now, use of retirement funds. The bill waives the 10% early withdrawal penalty for distributions up to $100,000 for coronavirus-related purposes, retroactive to January 1st. And that means, like, if you have to pull from your 401k to be able to afford to make rent or pay medical bills, they're going to defer that early withdrawal penalty for that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your last choice, you might as well save 10%, I guess.
Yeah.
The measure also allows individuals to delay the payment of their 2020 payroll taxes until 2021 and 2022. And finally, direct payments. Americans will receive a one-time direct deposit of up to $1,200, and married couples will get $2,400 plus an additional $500 per child. The payments will be available for incomes up to $75,000 for individuals and $150,000 for married couples. This is true even for those who have no income, rely on Social Security benefits, or whose income comes entirely from non-taxable means-tested benefit programs. So, yeah, pretty much 95% of America is getting a stimulus check.
Cool. So how and when will you get your check from the government? Well, first of all, we know a decent amount of younger people watch this show, so it's important to point out that if your parents claim you as a dependent on their taxes, you're not getting a check.
No.
So go yell at your parents and tell them you want a portion of that money if you're working or going to school, but they still claim you as a dependent.
It's going to tear a lot of families apart. Where the fuck's my money, Mom? Wait a minute, you've been claiming me as a dependent this whole fucking time? This is outrageous.
Yeah. Anyways, for everyone else, the non-dependents, there are some calculators available online that will help you see how much you're going to get back. But the majority of people, based simply on statistics, will be getting $1,200 for each person in their household.
According to Treasury Secretary and executive producer of Suicide Squad, Stephen Mnuchin, that'll never get old, the money is expected to arrive within 3 weeks, and it will arrive to you based on how you paid your taxes or received your tax refund for your most recent filing. Basically, if you got your tax return through direct deposit, the stimulus money will automatically hit your bank account the same way. If you received a check in the mail or you no longer have your direct deposit information on file with the IRS, you should expect to receive a check sometime in April. At some point in April, you should get a check in the mail. There's
But
also
rent's due on April 1st.
Say no. Apparently, for people that are wondering how it's going to get there and they really don't know why, there will be a receipt also mailed that says, like, if you didn't get it, you will get a receipt that says where it went to. Like, either we sent it as a check or we sent it to a direct deposit to this bank account.
Okay.
So yeah, sometime in April, I guess. Also, you won't have to pay any income tax on the amount you received. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Because
that would suck. The snake eating its tail.
Yeah. So is that it? Is this $1,200 check just a one-time thing? Well, yes and no. This is currently what the government is offering everyone. If you're unemployed as a result of the pandemic, you should be getting a bit more alongside your unemployment check. But if you're still working, this is pretty much it. Unless the government decides that more stimulus money is needed, which at this point is looking like a possibility.
Yes, at the very least, they're keeping the door open to the conversation, I guess.
Yeah, they've successfully stuck their finger in the leak.
Yeah. But they didn't use flex tape. They didn't use flex tape. They just put their finger in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the government will be reviewing everything as this all progresses, and they've left the option for further stimulus checks on the table. So it all depends on where we're at in the next couple of months.
And I
don't have high hopes about this.
No, not even for a minute.
Nope.
Speaking of attempting to ease anxiety, though, we should take a quick second to thank today's sponsor, who is acting as a stimulus package for the show and keeping us afloat. Today's episode is brought to you by Feels. Feels is a better way to feel better. Their premium CBD will keep your head clear and help you feel your best. We all know by now that CBD has been proven to be a good thing to take if you want to reduce anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. So why not give Feels a try today?
Feels is a premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. You just place a few drops of Feels under your tongue and feel the difference within minutes. And if you're new to CBD, they even offer a free CBD hotline to help guide your personal experience. Feels works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, no hangover, no addiction. So join the Feels community now to get Feels delivered to your door every month. You'll save money on every order, and you can pause or cancel anytime.
And we've both been using Feels to help us fall asleep after days filled with writing, editing, gaming, and just being locked into a nonstop 24-hour news cycle that's hard to look away from. It works for us, and we hope it can work for you too, even if you're just using it to ease some anxiety. So become a Feels member today by going to feels.com/newsdump, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That is feals.com/newsdump to become a member and get 50% off, automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. That's feels.com/newsdump. Thank you for sponsoring our show, and now back into the news.
Yeah, so since this is technically a show about the entertainment industry, even though we're under no obligation to strictly cover that, let's see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Now, as you're probably aware by now, more and more theatrical releases are finding their way onto VOD, and this week was no different. Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, or whatever the hell they're calling it now, was released early this week. And Paramount has announced that Sonic the Hedgehog will be hitting digital release next week on Tuesday, March 31st.
So, if you didn't get to see it in theaters as it was meant to be seen...
Bro, you shouldn't even, you had to be there.
Yeah.
You had to be there.
It was a community experience. Everyone in the crowd laughing, having a great time. It was actually really good. I liked it. So I think that you'll like it if you haven't seen it in theaters. And
which one, Sonic or Birds?
I liked them both.
Oh.
Both surprised me. I had very low expectations for both films, and I came out of them a happy customer.
Okay.
So I think that you'll enjoy it. I think specifically Sonic is a romp.
Okay.
Way better than I thought it'd be.
Okay.
Anyways, I know we've already said this at least twice this week, and you're already hearing it from everyone else anyway, but if you have Netflix, it is imperative that you start watching the Tiger King series. It is one of the best limited series documentaries of all time. I know that's a bold thing to say, and maybe it's because I'm stir crazy in the house and just looking for anything to watch, but this shit rocks. It is a little tough to watch if you're an animal lover, but once you get past the whole, it's kind of fucked up that people are keeping exotic pets, once you get past that part of it, the show that it turns into is so much more than that. It's incredible. It'll cause every emotion to pour out of you. Anger, love, laughter, hatred, empathy. It is a buffet of expired meat, gay love triangles, murder mystery, and more for you to feast on.
I haven't watched it yet.
You're in for a wild ride.
Edward Norton and Dax Shepard were arguing on Twitter about who should get to play the Tiger King in the inevitable live-action adaptation.
Apparently, the people involved in the show are already pissed and trying to sue Netflix over this. Listen, episode 1 is you kind of feel bad because these people are raising exotic animals in less than stellar conditions. They should probably, not do that.
Yeah.
But after that, it pretty much just goes into the personalities and quarrels and everything fucked up about the characters within this show, and it turns into something that you won't even believe.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's one of my favorites probably since the Robert Durst documentary.
Well,
you did it, Robert.
You killed the mom.
Sure.
Now, over on the upcoming releases side of the news, Wonder Woman 1984 has finally officially been postponed.
Who could have seen that coming?
But it will not be one of the films that's just skipping the theatrical release entirely so that it can end up online. Director Patty Jenkins and Warner Brothers have indicated that they obviously want the film to play in theaters on the big screen as intended, and they have no plans to forgo that experience for a strictly home video release. The movie will instead just be pushed back a few months, where it'll hopefully be released. Hopefully this is all.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully by August 14th.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, we're all in the clear. We can all go enjoy a movie without constantly looking for people coughing and sneezing.
Yeah.
In a statement about the shuffled release date, Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group Chairman Toby Emmerich said the following. When we greenlit Wonder Woman 1984, it was with every intention to be viewed on the big screen, and are excited to announce that Warner Bros. Pictures will be bringing the film to theaters on August 14th.
That's a threat.
We hope the world will be in a safer and healthier place by then.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that date will have to change if the world is not in a safer place and is still all fucked vibes. But hopefully things are back to normal by then.
Wouldn't it be so wonderful to go out with everyone and see a movie?
Yeah.
In August.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
It's gonna be hot by then. You're gonna want that air conditioning in that movie theater. So
That's going to be a big problem.
wash your hands.
No air conditioning in a lot of houses, specifically here in Los Angeles, where it gets very hot, and lots of very old buildings that haven't been retrofitted for air conditioning, is not going to be fun. And typically, our escape was going into the movie theaters.
Yeah.
No matter what was playing, just pick the one with the longest running time and enjoy your day in the AC. Not anymore, apparently. Not anymore. On the bad side of things for the industry, as expected, pretty much every movie and TV show that was currently in production has completely shut down.
Yeah.
This, of course, includes the production of Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman film. On Twitter, Reeves replied to an inquiry about the production status and the health of the cast and crew, saying, "Yes, we have shut down till it is safe for us all to resume. Everyone's safe for the moment. Thank you for asking, and stay safe too." Obviously, you would assume that this would mean a change in release date for the film, which was originally scheduled to premiere in June of 2021. But yeah, I mean, that all depends on how quickly they can get production back up to speed once this is over. And I don't know. I wouldn't put money on it coming out in June of 2021, but
I wouldn't put money on anything right now.
Same goes for Matrix 4, by the way. Production on that film has come to a complete halt, and who knows when that's going to be released either. We're going to get a whole lot of content that was stopped because of this, like sports and all that stuff, but then there's going to be a hell of a dry spell somewhere in there.
The one that absolutely kills me is that Fargo Season 4 was supposed to start in April, like mid-April.
And they didn't film the last episode.
They had like one episode left to film when all of California shut down. They're like, yeah, we don't know what the hell's happening. Like,
so they pushed it back a year.
Yeah, well, because all these, like, they have to get all these big-name actors, like, back to fucking Minnesota at some point in the midst of their schedules and everything else getting pushed around. Fucking sucks.
Did you see Jeremy Renner's, like, he filed a thing trying to get his child support lowered because he's not working right now as much?
Real dirtbag, that Jeremy Renner. Just write some more songs.
All he needs to do is write more songs.
Yeah.
He's not struggling.
Maybe do another Jeep ad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, things are apparently at least somewhat getting back to normal as far as weekly and nightly live produced TV shows. Some late night shows, they've already returned to the airwaves with hosts like Jimmy Kimmel, Conan, Stephen Colbert, all filming their late night shows directly from their homes, just with like a phone and shit.
It's. I know that you can't predict this, I guess, but honestly, like they could go on like Amazon still and just buy the basic, like Google search what do Twitch streamers use, and they could just buy all that stuff, and in no time have a pretty decent home setup. Or a camera. Just a camera that isn't a phone or a webcam.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, in addition to that, Last Week's Night with John Oliver is set to return this Sunday.
Yeah.
Once again, filmed without an audience and filmed from home. It's a format that I actually prefer, so it should be interesting to see how it goes. We're not sure if the last one that was filmed without an audience was done from home, but the quality was pretty good.
Yeah.
We know for a fact that he can't film at the CBS studios where the show is typically filmed, even with a skeleton crew, because there was a confirmed case of the virus in that studio. So the whole place is pretty much shut down. Yeah,
a lot of places are doing skeleton crew stuff. Like Today's Show is still happening, but like it's like Hoda Kotb there, and that's it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is from home. But Last Week Tonight, that building is shut down entirely.
Condemned.
So, as for how celebrities have been dealing with self-isolation, we've talked about the bad. Let's talk a little bit about the good. Sir Patrick Stewart has been posting videos on Twitter of himself reading Shakespeare for everyone in his very nice, very calm, very soothing voice. And after posting his first video, he said the following alongside yet another upload. I was delighted by the response to yesterday's posting of Shakespeare's Sonnet 116, and it has led me to undertake what follows. When I was a child in the 1940s, my mother would cut up slices of fruit for me. There wasn't much, and as she put it in front of me, she would say, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away. How about a sonnet a day keeps the doctor away?" So here we go, sonnet number 1.
Thanks.
So we have plenty of Sir Patrick Stewart
sir.
Coming in. I heard that Picard wasn't very good, so maybe this is a nice...
I watched the first 2 episodes of it, and I'm not a Trekkie, so first of all, I didn't really understand any of what was going on.
Yeah.
But secondly, it was bad. It wasn't good.
Speaking of bad things, I really gave Hunters the old college try. I got through 3 episodes. It was a struggle after episode 2. I wish it was better. I really wish Hunters was a better show.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of
it is
mixed vibes.
It is, I think it described it as, it's like they tried to make a Tarantino movie into a series and also tried to make something as good as Fargo, the series Fargo, but they failed miserably at both.
Okay.
So it's just kind of not as good as I think they thought it would be. So I wouldn't say waste your time with that.
Devs on Hulu is quite good.
There you go. Devs on Hulu.
And in addition to the frequent readings done by Sir Patrick Stewart, it appears as though LeVar Burton is looking into essentially bringing back Reading Rainbow to kids online to help them cope with being in lockdown via his podcast, LeVar Burton Reads. He, like most celebrities, is somehow finding it difficult to do a live video version of his show. And as an added bonus, he's scared of reading stories that might fall under copyright restrictions. That's understandable.
We're in a crisis. You need to let LeVar Burton read whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I think President Trump, you need to give LeVar Burton carte blanche.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him diplomatic immunity.
Bernie should have added that to the bill.
Yeah.
LeVar Burton can read whatever the fuck he wants.
Apparently, a ton of people have reached out to him in order to help him start up some sort of stream. He's been combing through short stories that are part of the public domain, so hopefully he gets something up and running soon. Publishers?
You know what to do.
You know what to do.
He's marketing your book.
This is no time to be selfish.
It's like when companies would strike us for talking about new movies and using trailers. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Now, for the most part, we don't talk about your movies at all. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
All right, well, that's it for this week's news dump. We'll be back really, really soon for a brand new episode of Weekly Weird News. And we're also trying to line up some new guests for next week's quarantine stream. If you have any suggestions for people that we should reach out to that you think would mesh well with us on a stream, we would love to have them. Leave your comments below and tell us who to talk to, because we live in a bubble. Literally now, we live in a bubble.
And suggest us for other people's shows.
Oh, tell other people to let us on their shows.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. We're all trying to get through this through content.
Yeah.
So
I would love to be a guest on a video podcast or a live stream. You know.
Yeah.
If it's something that would work
If
well
it's
with
good,
us.
like,
Yeah. In the meantime, be sure to check out other episodes from this week. And hey, listen, we hope you're doing okay out there. We'll keep trucking along and bringing you as many videos as we can until we ultimately burn out and end up sleeping through this entire thing.
That sounds great.
No. Yep. I've been staying up extremely late and waking up very late as well.
Yeah.
It's altered my sleep schedule in a way that I have only experienced 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. Even when I try to go to sleep at a decent hour, I don't actually fall asleep till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Then I wake up at like 11 a.m. just like.
The past couple of nights, I was shocked when I was like, all right, I guess I should go to bed. And I'd look at the time and go, oh God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I should have been in bed hours ago. Anyways, other videos for you to watch over here. We'll be back soon with Weekly Weird News and another live stream next week, as well as your typical video fare. Stay strong. We're here for you. Bye-bye.
Bye.